I wanted to share my new Pochade box with everyone. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. I've always pronounced it that way. But it's basically a little box you use for painting. And this one is from a company called Travel Painter. It's located in Russia. It's beautifully made. I haven't used it yet, but I mean, from looks alone and how it's made, I would definitely recommend it. It's very well made. It's just smooth as glass. It's beautiful work that they've done. I put a different strap on it because I have problems with my shoulders, and a thicker one just felt better for me. But the strap that was on it was, perfectly okay. It's like cotton, what do they call that? Cotton webbing. Let me turn this around and show you how it looks. There's the easel part where you put your canvas. There's the palette. It slides either way. And if you're left-handed or right-handed, the strap can be moved. They've included a pre-drilled hole. So mine is set for a right-hander. So this comes off on the left, and then the right is left free for my hand to come in on the palette and mix. But if you're left-handed, you could switch it over. This will go on the other side. That'll go over there. So let me show you the inside here. And this one-handed is not the greatest. There we go. Underneath you have a lot of room. You see my hand? I have about an 8-inch span. I think this is just slightly over 8-inch square in here. And these are removable. So if you've got, ouch, okay, trying to do this. There, removable. So you can, customize the compartment any way you'd like. I'm choosing to leave them in. It seemed to work well with what I'm putting in. So let's see. Let me put this up. So hang on. You're going to have a tight look there for a minute while I screw the screw so I can kind of prop the back open. All right, and I will fill it, and you can see what's going in mine. First, I have my mediums. I have a little cup. And I bent this purposely so I can sit it on the edge, because this is the edge of the, I'll have it this way on there. But I wanted it so that it would be kind of hooked on there, not move. I didn't want to have to pull this open, have it open on the, if I want to have it closed and not pulled open so that I can hook it there, I've got it hooked on the side here. So that's my cup that I'll put my paint thinner in. I have a bottle of Galkid Light for my medium. I have some linseed oil in case I want to mix that with my paint. Mostly I use this for when I clean my palette, I rub linseed oil into it. There's that. Let's see which one comes. Then I've got a bottle of paint thinner. I used one of these tiny little booze bottles that you get, the tiny little miniature ones, because it was perfect. Because I found that any squeeze bottles I bought, unless I just used bottles that size, were a little too thick for in here. So this one was just right. And this is a plastic one. The little glass minis didn't fit. This one fits just right for my turpentine, and that will go in that little cup. My medium, I'll just squirt on the palette and use it, as I go. Then the paints I use a limited palette, and for the time being, I'm using Cad Yellow Light. Now these paints are old as the hills. They got to be about 20 years old, and so I'm trying to use them up and figured I would throw these into my box to take with me. So I have Cad Yellow Light, Permanent Rose, Cobalt Blue. Let's see. Viridian Green, Burnt Sienna, and white. And those are the colors I use. They go in there. Then on the bottom one is, I like to bring a little ruler, not necessarily for measuring anything, but just if I want to make sure I'm making a really straight line. I have one of those. I have one of these little what do they call this, embossing tool or something. I use this to sign my paintings because I just basically scratch my name into the paint. I have a little clip that I use with little plastic bags for my trash. I have a palette knife. My brushes, I just kind of have an assortment of brushes. Just kind of basic flats, a floofy one for blending clouds. Sometimes the fan is nice for doing trees. There's that. And some gloves. Since I have a cadmium paint, even though the cobalt's just a hue, but the yellow paint is cadmium, and I don't want to touch that. The rest of the paints I think are fairly non-toxic, but the cadmium yellow I don't particularly want to touch, so I have that. Then I have some paper towels. Put those in the middle there on top of those. I have a little composition finder. Since this takes square canvas, that's just right, and I have a hard time with that. That's one of the things I find it's most difficult, is looking at a big scene and squaring it down to what's going to fit on my canvas and what I want to include in that. So this is helpful. That goes there. Then my canvas. It's a 8x8 canvas board from Hobby Lobby. It's their brand. Now here I have a few more paper towels, some extras that I'm just sticking behind the canvas board to have just in case I run out, which I doubt I will. This fits right in here behind these little pegs. Oops, this one. Come on. There we go. Oop. Hang on. Oops. Okay, it's got to give me a hard time because I'm on camera. There we go. Anyway, those fit right behind those little pegs. You can fit 2 canvases. You just, where I had my extra paper towel stuffed, you could put another canvas, but I never do more than one painting when I go out, so one canvas is fine with me. So everything fits just right in there. I could probably even fit a couple more tubes of paint if I needed to, but the colors I use I can mix just about everything with. Put that back on. Oops, let's push that. Okay, stay down. Put that. Hard doing things with one hand. There we go. And there we go. Now I will close that. Okay. And it just has a little latch. There you go. It has little feet on the bottom, so you can hold it up like that. And I had shown in my last video how I was wearing it, so I'm not going to put it on in this one. I just wanted to show how it looked, how I was filling it up, how the surface, I don't know if you can get an idea how that looks. It's really nice and smooth. So as soon as I, take it out for a test drive, I will film that as much as I can and show you guys how it works out.